Hey, what's up, peeps? This your boy B coming to you from B&U Auto Sales and Iceberg Investment Corporations. Today, I just want to come talk to you about the loopholes and benefits of selling vehicles without a license. There's plenty of ways you can go about selling cars without a license. There's two in particular I'd like to talk to you about today. The first one I want to mention is the first loophole I want to mention to where you don't have to get a license is to simply just not get a license. Each person, unless something has changed, can sell up to 12 vehicles per year in their name. So, with that being said, you can sell 12 vehicles, your wife can sell two vehicles, cousin Lou can sell I'm sorry, 12 vehicles. Each of y'all can sell 12 vehicles apiece. Um, so, that's just one way to get started. I mean, you can go on and on. Um, you got family members and people you trust. Y'all, you can sell as many vehicles as you want. Of course, they may want uh, a little fee or whatever. But anyhow, that's the way you would do that. That's that method. Um, that to me, that's a real safe game plan. That way, you're not invested in having to go out and buy your dealer's license and stuff like that because that can get really pricey. But before I get into that, the second method is if you have somebody that's with the program, y'all got um, a game plan together to where you're gonna work together on this. It has to be somebody you trust, obviously, again, but not so much on this one. Basically, when you buy the vehicle, once you buy the vehicle from them, they write you a bill of sale out from them. You can actually leave the back of the title blank and and move the vehicle that way. Now you have to be legal about it. You gotta make sure you got your T's crossed, but nevertheless, you never signed the vehicle. Therefore, there's no limit on your limits not catching up with you. Nobody knows that you've ever had the vehicle, but you do have it with the bill of sale. Possession is not intentional to the law. But if you don't plan on keeping the vehicle, why would you sign the back of the title and then send it off to Montgomery in Alabama's case and have to wait on the title to come back in your name? That's going to hold you up. You're not going to be able to sell the vehicle until the title comes back, obviously. So unless somebody really takes your word, which I've had people take my word on it, but I've really built my name up over the years. But in my opinion, I was just not. I mean, that's just one good way of not having to worry about those signing back of the title. And those loopholes are handy because it is super expensive to, or not super expensive, but it can get expensive getting started with your dealer's license. Back when I did it, um, um, I can't remember exactly, but I think it cost me about $7,500 to get going, and that don't include the cars that you have to buy. You got, like I say, all right. First of all, you got to have a lot to keep the cars at. I mean, to get a dealer's license, you can't just sell them outside the road or whatever, because you got to send a picture of your lot to the people in Montgomery that you are getting your dealer's license from. And you have to go to their website, print out this long application, basically a long form, whatever you want to call it. You got to fill all this out. I mean, it's long. You got to fill all that out. They want to know everything from what you had dinner last night and what your mom ate last week. You got to have all the information. You got to, like I say, fill that out. You got to have pictures of your lot. I think they want different angles, and it needs to be or has to be in a area that's zoned for business, if I'm mistaken. That may have changed, but as far as I know, it's got to be in an area that's zoned for business. And then you got to have proof of insurance and proof of garage insurance. And the garage insurance is going to cover your vehicles while they're on your lot, and I believe it also covers your cars while they're being test driven in case somebody wrecks your car while they're driving it, damages or injures themselves. I don't know exactly what the medical on that costs, so thank goodness I didn't have to, never had that problem, but it can happen. What can go wrong will go wrong eventually. It's just a numbers game. But speaking of numbers game, it just keeps getting more expensive. Like you got your garage insurance, you got it regular, your insurance on your lot, you got your dealer license, which back when I did it, the dealer's license went with $10. I don't know if that's changed or not, but you got that. You got to buy the cars. You got to get your lot, the rent for the lot, whatever that might cost. And if you're in the city, you got to get a city license, a state license. And if I ain't mistaken, you still may have to get a county license. I don't know. I was in the county, so all I had to get was a county license and a state license, along with all those other things. I can't remember if it costs to get a tax ID number or not, but you'll be getting a tax ID number as well. which actually comes in handy. But nevertheless, unless you're wanting a tax ID number to where you can skip everybody else in the line at the bank to drive through window and go to that special commercial line, unless you're wanting, like I say, that tax ID number, or if you're wanting to reap the benefits at tax season, um, I really don't see the point in getting a dealer's license unless you are wanting to actually have a lot. And having a lot is like exactly what it sounds like. You're having a lot of responsibility. You got to keep your cars gassed up. You got to keep the cars clean. So you're probably going to hire somebody to help you do all this stuff, to drive them around, keep them gassed up, keep the batteries charged up. Then you may have to have security cameras, which is definitely recommended, and all that type of stuff. So um, it can get very expensive, and over the years, it's got more expensive. I had a friend get into it recently. I want to say he spent twice as much as what I did getting into it. But back in the day, my buddies that got in it with me and they stayed in it with their dealer's license and everything. They were one of them in particular. My guy Brandon, shout out to Brandon Hensley. He's still rolling strong, and he's got a pretty nice lot now. But it took him almost a decade to get to where he's at. But nevertheless, I just wanted to get on here and talk about the loopholes and benefits of not having a dealer's license. Loopholes of selling vehicles without a dealer's license, and the benefits of not going to get your dealer's license. It sounds good. You can tell people, hey, I got my dealer's license. I'm a dealer. Oh, and you get dealer's tags, which you have to pay for. I think they're a little more than regular tags, if I'm mistaken. I can't remember. But you can get dealer tags to put on your car, but you gotta be aware of special laws that apply to them as well. You can't just drive around on a dealer tag all the time, all throughout the day. You really need to look into that if that's something you're planning on doing. But yeah, you get your dealer's tag, you get dealer transit tags. The main reason to get a dealer's license, in my opinion, is to save on your taxes at car auctions. Uh, of course, and then I think there's certain auctions that are only available to dealers, but all the auctions I know of, the public can go to them. They just have to pay the tax on the vehicle that they buy. But I mean, that might save you at that point a little bit, and in the long run, it may save you overall. But it takes a lot of money to get going on that route. But if that's the route you want to go, touche to you. I'm not knocking it. I don't have a preference either way. I just speaking from experience. I've done it both ways, and it seems to be a whole lot more profitable to do it without the license. Or I ain't gonna say a whole lot more, but it is more. I make more money without it. I don't have the overhead so much. I can store my cars wherever I store them at. I don't have to have a lot to store them. I can store them at certain locations that I store them at, houses, people that I know and trust, and stuff like that. But as far as showing the car, we're in the day and age of social media, so all of 100% of my sales since I've become a broker have come off of social media, 100%. And I show a car, I show cars every day. So I mean, I have cars that are sitting by main roads, but nobody stops. I haven't got one call, which I've only been doing the broker thing for since the beginning of February, but I haven't got one call where somebody stopped by and seen the sign on the window and called me and say, "Hey, I would like to look at this car you have for sale." That hasn't happened yet. Not saying that it won't, but nevertheless, 100% of my sales have come from off social media or offline. So take it or leave it, take it for what it's worth, how you want to do that. I just wanted to give you my insight on it. And once again, appreciate you tuning in, appreciate your support. Check out the merchandise on our Facebook page, and we're about to load a bunch of it up to the Instagram page. Um, and don't forget, we got those $100 vouchers available for if you send a customer and they buy a vehicle from me, I will give you a $100 voucher that is good for any vehicle purchase that you or anybody you know wants to buy from me in the future. You can give them the voucher and they can come buy it from me if they're in the market to buy a car or whatever. So it's worth $100 to you to send me some business. So help me, help you, help somebody else because nobody can beat my prices and all my vehicles are legit. I won't sell anything that it is, and I know it's hard to have a used car that's 100% perfect, and I don't have them 100% perfect. But for the price, they're gonna run good. You're gonna get a good motor, good transmission out of me, and I'm gonna have the cleanest body I can possibly have for the price I sell them for. Nobody's touching me right now, as far as that goes. But anyhow, enough flexing. Thank you for tuning in, and look forward to seeing you on the next one. Deuces.